What is up, guys? It's Jacob from Quad Hunting, and this is the Detroit Lions weekly recap.
Welcome to Detroit.
It was week 1 of the NFL season, and the Detroit Lions picked up their first win, 39-35, against the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium. Now, the Lions dominated early in the game, going up 21-3, but then started to look like their old selves a little bit when they let the Colts get back in the game. The score was tied at 28-28 for a while. There was some mental mistakes made, some coverage mistakes where receivers were wide open in the field. A lot of stuff that the Lions kind of got lucky on. So it was 28-28. Lions got the ball back, scored a touchdown on a Theo Riddick. Theo Riddick was the MVP of the game, no doubt. Get more on that later. But the Lions got up 6 points. Matt Prater came out to kick the field goal, the extra point, missed it. So the Lions were only up 6. The Colts then came back, scored. So then they ended up they were leading 35-34. Then the Lions were able to drive down the field in surprising fashion pretty easily. Some stupid plays were made by some players. Eric Ebron not getting down, trying to fight for yards, running time off the clock, to which Stafford visibly was on the field. You could see just screaming at Ebron about getting down quicker so the offense can get back up and go again, get another playoff. Then the very next play, Marvin Jones got a pass where he ended up not running out of bounds, stayed inbounds, and Stafford was again yelling at him to get out of bounds. Why aren't you getting out of bounds? Lions burned out their last time out there. They ran one more play, which was just an incompletion. It was one of those, if there's something, get it. If there's not, throw it out of bounds. There was nothing, so Stafford threw it out of bounds. Matt Prater came in, kicked it. I think it was like a 43-yard field goal. 43-yard field goal with 8 seconds left. Then they kicked the ball off. They kicked it off to the Colts, left it a little high, so the Colts had to return it. The Colts started doing the whole pass the ball around, trying to get it to someone who was open. It looked like something might happen there for a little bit. They ended up in their own end zone because they started making dumb mistakes with it. I mean, it's not a play you practice a lot, so it's not going to look that great most of the time. They ended up throwing the ball. They ended up doing a forward pass in the end zone, which is a penalty. Penalties in the end zone get a safety, so the Lions got the safety to go up 39-35 as time expired. The game was incredibly close. It's only a 4-point win, but it was even closer than that. I had trouble watching the last bit, just getting so excited and amped up and worried at the same time. But going on to the stats of the game, Stafford looked good pretty much all game. Not many mistakes made. He was 31 for 39 with 340 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. There's a couple that were thrown that could have been interceptions. One of them that should have been an interception by Antonio Cromartie. It was just underthrown, or it was overthrown. He overthrew Marvin Jones, to which Cromartie was in perfect position to catch it, but then Marvin Jones turned into the cornerback, knocked the ball down a little bit. It still landed right in Cromartie's hands, so should have been a pick, wasn't a pick. Amir Abdullah had a great game, 12 rushes for 63 yards, averaged 5.2 yards. He was just getting these big yards when they needed him. He'd get like these 7-yard gains just at the right time, which is good. Theo Riddick, though, was always called the one-dimensional back, where he was pretty much always only a pass catcher, seen as a pass catcher. He ended up running the ball 7 times for 45 yards and a touchdown. He had a big touchdown his first carry went for like 20-some yards and a touchdown. He also caught a touchdown, which was pivotal in the very end. Got the touchdown at the very end that Prater missed the field goal, missed the extra point on, but that was to get the Lions up by 6. He had 5 catches for 63 yards. Dwayne Washington had 2 carries and a touchdown. Marvin Jones had 4 catches and 85 yards. It was a little disappointing, the defense. They did pretty good on the run. Frank Gore had 59 yards on 14 carries. Luck broke off a couple runs, 3 attempts for 21 yards. But the secondary's got to get something worked out. Like Dorsett had 94 yards on 4 catches. T.Y. Hilton had 6 catches for 79 yards. Moncrief got 64 yards and a touchdown. And the tight ends just destroyed us, with Dwayne Allen getting 53 yards and a touchdown, and Jack Doyle getting 35 yards and 2 touchdowns. Basically the same play. We got beat on the same play defensive line wasn't able to create pressure, so the Andrew Luck had time to get all these guys wide open. I'm trying to think of what else is pretty big. Defensive wise, Tahir Whitehead was all over the field, making a bunch of tackles. Diggs made a couple good tackles. Kerry Hyder, the guy that no one really thought would make the team right off the bat, ended up getting 2 sacks, almost in, like, I think it was in the first quarter. 2 big plays. He then very next play almost got another sack. Ended up knocking Luck down. But otherwise, like, the defense really didn't do much. Nagata had a couple good batted balls. Deshaun Robinson batted a couple balls, or batted 1 ball at least. Levy did. Levy was all over the place getting tackles too. Oh, maybe not. It says he got 4 tackles. That's interesting. It looked like he was out there a lot more closer to the ball. For as weak as the Colts secondary was, though, passes should have been better. We should have been roasting them with these long passes. We weren't going so much long. Our longest pass of the day was 32 yards. We did go long a couple times, but it wasn't really working out for us. Luck ended up still having a pretty good game. He was 31 of 47 for 385 yards and 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Our defensive line needs to step up and needs to start getting more pressure. The secondary needs to not let these guys get wide open. There's miscommunications a lot where there's Dorsett, Hilton, Moncrief, Allen, and Doyle were all getting wide open for these catches and first downs or touchdowns. Like these big, like Dorsett had a 51-yard catch that he was just pretty much wide open. Hilton and Moncrief both also had long play. There was almost the identical play where they were getting these long gains. Prater Mason, the extra point was huge. Didn't need that. It ended up being all right. Sam Martin just destroyed the ball today in the punting, averaging 55.5 yards. Not really much else to talk about. We had 28 first downs, 5 of 9 on third downs. Ended up getting 116 yards rushing, which is great to get that number up over 100. Left the Colts to 82 yards rushing, total net rushing. Stafford only got sacked once. He didn't really even hit all that much. He was shifty in the pocket, showed an athleticism that's not usually seen with Stafford. But yeah, our defense needs to step up. The offense looks pretty good. They just got to not hit that. They hit that like mid-second quarter to end of third quarter, like stall where they just don't really do much. That needs to be worked out. Definitely don't want to see that around a lot, but that's pretty much the big thing from the game. The big takeaways from the game. The Lions got a running game going a little bit there. Stafford looked pretty good in his first game without Calvin Johnson, as the announcers repeatedly kept talking about how this is his first game in his career without Calvin Johnson. No, it's not. If they had known anything about Detroit Lions football, it was not his first game ever without Calvin Johnson. He's had plenty of games without Calvin Johnson. I'm sick of hearing about that, how not having Calvin Johnson just means the Lions are awful. I'm tired of hearing about it. I don't hear about it anymore. So, yeah, the Lions won. It's a good day. A win's a win, no matter how close it is. No matter who it's against. It's the NFL. Any given Sunday, any team could win. So, unless you're the Browns. Sorry, Browns fans. But yeah, it's going to be a weekly thing. There'll also be a preview one. Didn't get one out this week. Just got swamped just right off the bat there. But there will be a preview one before every game. There'll be a review one after every game. Try to have them out, or try to have the reviews out Sundays after the games, and the previews out hopefully in enough time. So yeah, leave a subscribe to the channel, leave some comments, talk to me about the game, and there'll be a preview video coming out later this week for the Lions game against the Texans next week. This is the first game at Field this year. So yeah, I will see you guys then. Bye.